guys, what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Savage Story Time. So this week, we're going to be diving into a little bit of Am I the Applesauce? It's kind of one of my favorite, little short stories to read and give my comments on, because let me tell you, some of these people, oh yes, they are 100% the applesauce, right? And then some of them, no, they are not the applesauce, and I feel bad for them, right? Because, yeah, so we're going to get into it. I hope you're doing fabulous, wonderful on this wonderful Saturday. Let me get my reading glasses on, and we'll get started. Okay, so got my handy dandy reading glasses on. So this first one, am I the applesauce for taking an Uber to a wedding so I wouldn't be late? I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, unless it specifically said, in the invitation, don't be taking no Uber, you need to get a lift, I don't see what's wrong, but let's keep going. Maybe there's more to the story, right? So it says, my sister got married last weekend. I flew into town and my parents insisted that I stayed with them instead of a hotel like I wanted. You probably should have stayed in the hotel, sweetheart. My parents are consistently late for everything. I hate being late and I think it's disrespectful. I have to agree, hey, it does happen from time to time. Things are out of your control, traffic, whatever, stuff happens. But if it's all the time, it kind of gets old. So it says the wedding was at 2:30. Well, I mean, at least your sister was nice, because there's some weddings you got to get up at the butt crack of dawn. You got to leave your house by 7 because these freaking knuckleheads decided they want to get married at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, ain't nobody got time for that. Can we push this, till later in the afternoon? Let me wake up. Let me get myself together before I have to go deal with family and stuff like that. Pretend I like them. Okay, anywho. So the wedding was okay. My folks live about a half an hour away from the church. Okay, so you should probably be leaving to go to the church no later than 2. And I mean, you should probably leave before then, right? Because if it's starting at 2:30, you don't want to be walking into the wedding what are you, the bride? Are they going to play Here Comes the Bride as you're walking down the wedding because you're late? So far, I'm going with not the applesauce, okay? So it says noon rolls around and my folks aren't even getting ready yet. Oh, hells no. First off, why is the mom, I don't know if you guys can hear that thumping. That is Roscoe scratching, and he's about ready to get kicked out of this room. But why is the mom, isn't that usually the mother of the bride? They're with him. I mean, I don't know. I'm 41, almost 42, never have been married, and I don't think it's going to happen, Captain. I'm just saying, right? But, yeah, I got some questions. I need some answers, right? So, okay. They are adults, and I'm not dealing with them. Good for you, sweetheart. I get ready, and I send for an Uber, and I'm at the church for 2. Okay. She's responsible. She's making sure that she gets there on time, that she ain't walking down as they're playing Here Comes the Bride, right? Because she ain't the bride. I mean, you're going to be having some confused people. They'd be like, is there something we missed? Did her sister run off with the groom? I thought the other sister was marrying him. But believe me, I would be sitting in that pew going, I got some questions. So I check in with my sister. She asked me if I had any problems getting my parents to church. I told her that I came by myself. Okay. She blew up on me and said that I was responsible for getting them there on time. Now, okay, maybe you might be the applesauce. Like if your sister asked you, hey, they're always late, can you try to make sure, and you just took off, then you're the applesauce, all right? But if not, like, you're not the applesauce. So, it says, well, nobody asked me to do that. I didn't even want to stay there. Yep, nope, you ain't the applesauce, honey. As far as I'm concerned, as of what I've read so far, you are not the applesauce. So now everyone starts calling my parents. They are getting ready. They are getting ready at 2? Like, no, they should have been, like, in the car on the way already. Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. They are about 35 minutes late. I would have been like, guess what? Like, my parents ain't seeing me getting married. Like, you better hope I have, like, a videographer. Or, like, you're just going to have to watch it on replay on the video. Or just imagine it in your head with the pictures. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You couldn't be here on time. Shame on you. The service was shortened because there was another wedding later that day. My service wouldn't have been shortened. I would have walked myself down the aisle. Like, I've been like, my mom and dad, like, they are done. Like, you can't show up to my wedding on time. Everyone is still mad at me for not getting my parents there on time. First off, it is not your responsibility, honey. Not at all. My aunt said that I'm an applesauce for messing up the timing of the wedding. No, honey, you are not the applesauce. Your parents are the applesauce. My mom says it's my fault for not reminding them to get ready. They are grown adults. Like, you should not have to remind them, like, hey, let's get ready. No. Am I the only one who thinks adults should be able to be on time for their own kids' weddings without help? No, honey, you are not the only adult, because I stand 100% behind you. You are not the applesauce. So this next one, right? Am I the applesauce for telling my friend she can't bring her baby to my birthday celebration? I don't know about this one. I think I'm going to have to read a little bit because, yeah. So it says, am I the applesauce for telling my friend I don't want her to bring her 2-month-old to my 25th birthday celebration? I'm turning 25 in February and was planning a weekend girls trip to Chicago. Good for you. I have a friend who's about to give birth any day now, and our birthdays are 10 days apart. I was hesitant to invite her in the first place since she's about to give birth, but another friend let it slip about my party, so she basically asked if she could come along too. I said sure, and then she said she would have to bring the baby girl along. Is it like you're just getting together at your house? Like, I mean, I get, sometimes, like, you don't want kids there, but I digress. Let's find out more before we just assume, right? So now on this trip, I was hoping to cross a bucket list item off my list. Taking edibles and going to the aquarium while in Chicago. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to say you are not the applesauce, but you are the applesauce, honey, because you're going to go take edibles and then go see fish. I'm going to just tell you right now, don't go anywhere near the sharks, because if you get paranoid, sweetheart, you're going to think that shark's coming to eat you. You're going to be curled up in the fetal position, crying and rocking on the ground like that 2-month-old baby. All right, I'm just saying. But so far from what I read, you're not the applesauce. It's your birthday, but you're the applesauce, like if you go near the sharks, okay? We're just going to leave it at that. Oh, dear Lord, babies. Finishing the night with a Korean barbecue and drinking. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to go with not the applesauce because it's kind of more like an adult-themed party that, a 2-month-old probably should not be in that environment. An environment I wasn't comfortable with having a baby around. Good for you. My friend doesn't see the problem with bringing her 2-month-old baby along. Everyone agrees with me the baby shouldn't come with. My friend says that since I don't have kids, I shouldn't have a say in how she raises her baby. Am I the applesauce? Edit. This will be her 3rd child. My apologies. I should have mentioned above. I never written a Reddit post before. So, no, like I don't think you're the applesauce. It's your birthday party. Like, it would be one thing, say, if you're planning a party for her and she's like, well, I gotta bring my kid, and you're like, well, no children allowed, then I'd be like, nah, dude, like you're the applesauce, she got, but it's your party. Like, it sounds more like an adult party, and I get it, like there are some things that just children should not be around. So I'm gonna go with not the applesauce, right? So far we're 2 for 2. So this next one. Would I be the applesauce for skipping my husband's grandmom's Christmas to avoid his sister because she left human feces and urine in my house? I don't even think I need to read this story, but I mean, I am, because I'm nosy and I need to know the tea, right? But just from the title, I'm going to go with not the freaking applesauce, because let me tell you, like, if somebody left human feces and urine in my house, like, and it was like, they didn't like put it in the toilet and say, I don't know, they forgot to flush or something, like, oh, yeah, no, because, like, I'm going to embarrass you at that family function, and I'm going to ruin Grandma's Christmas, because I'm going to let everybody know that you are peeing and pooping in my house, and it ain't in the John, right? Okay. So I'm almost positive that this is going to be not the applesauce, but I mean, let's see, maybe there's like a reason, maybe like the person can't move and they, do their stuff like in a diaper type of thing, and they can't get it to the trash and they depend on someone else. So let me just not assume, but I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming, and I'm going with she ain't the freaking applesauce, because that is just downright freaking nasty. Like, dear Lord, baby Jesus. All right, so it says, my sister-in-law, 23 female. Okay, so first off, 23-year-old female peeing and pooping and leaving it in your house. Like, she knows better. She freaking knows better. So it says, lived with my husband and I for about a year. She was living with their grandmom, but they had a falling out, so we offered her the upstairs, rent-free. Well, sure. Can I come live with you in your upstairs rent-free? Like, I won't leave pee and poop in your house. Like, if I pee and poop, it's going in the toilet, and I will make sure I flush. Like, hello, hey, roomie. Okay, let's get back to the story. So, it's just a single bedroom up there, so she had the upstairs all to herself. We only used it for storage. She paid nothing, only bought her own food, but was also welcome to use our food too. You still got that room? Asking for a friend. I'm just saying, right? This was supposed to last a few months while she saved money for an apartment. Only house rule that we had was she couldn't bring people over without notice or when no one was home, and to never spend the night. I mean, I think that's pretty fair, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know who these people are that your niece is inviting over. It's your home. I get it. I think that's pretty reasonable, considering, rent-free. Like, hello. Have you seen the prices of rent? I don't think that's too much to ask, right? Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus, where was I at? Okay. No curfew or anything silly like that. During her stay, her boyfriend ended up homeless. She begged us to let him stay, even offered to pay rent. We said no. The boyfriend was a complete stranger to us. I mean, and that's understandable. It is your house, your rules. So, and then it says that the niece stay had issues. The niece, she lost her job, constantly needing money from us and just taking care of herself. After her being jobless and living on food stamps, there's nothing wrong with living on food stamps, and with our help for 6 months, we finally said she had to find somewhere else to go because it was clear we weren't helping her find independence. I get that. You're trying to help her out, and now at this point, it kind of sounds like she's using you, has no ambition. Like, okay, she lost her job, but after 6 months, you know what I mean? If you're really out there trying to apply, I would say 9 out of 10 times, you should have a job by then, right? Finally said she had to find some because it was clear. She finally moved out to stay with her boyfriend's sister. That didn't last long as she was back at the grandmom's again. I have no idea, but I can guess. While his niece was staying with us, we never went upstairs, ever. We respected her privacy and had no reason to be there. The day she left, I went upstairs to find garbage bags everywhere. Old food all over the floor. The floor was sticky. It smelled. I didn't spend long looking, didn't even walk through the door, just left it for my husband to see when he got home from work. Husband took a deeper look, found the following. Like, that's just, come on, like, clean your crap up. It's not that hard. So let's see what her husband found, right? So the husband gets home, he goes upstairs, and this is what he found. Trash bags with human feces in them. Oh, hells no. At least 10-gallon jugs full of urine. I got questions. How was she peeing in a jug, right? Like, did she have like a funnel or something? Because us females, that could get like a little messy. Are you like peeing on your hand? What are you doing? Do they not have a bathroom that like with running water? Like, why are you pooping in bags? Why are you peeing in jugs? I got some questions. I'm going to need some answers here. Oh my gosh, and there's more. There is more. A tote with cat litter and unidentifiable sludge, we guess, was human feces and urine. I mean, like, did she think she was a cat? Like, what the hell is going on here? While leaving this is horrible, I realize, I'm thinking that's supposed to be learning. While learning this is horrible, I realized something else. She must have snuck her boyfriend into the house and he was living up there with her. That's just disrespectful. Like, I get you asked, like they said, no, it's their house. You don't like it? Get the hell out. I'm just gonna say it now. I'm gonna say not the applesauce. All right. Living up there with her, peeing in jugs and pooping in bags because he couldn't come downstairs to use the bathroom or risk being caught by us. It's the only thing that makes sense. Now that makes sense, right? Because a dude can pee in a jug, right? Females, I guess we could, but I mean, you gotta have it aimed just right, and yeah, no, thank you. She had no reason not to use the bathroom downstairs, and she wouldn't be able to pee in the jugs without a funnel. Exactly. Is that not what I said? So it says, now she is mad at me because I won't put on my big girl panties and play nice so that she can have a nice Christmas. She's now talking about the grandmom, right? My husband is going, but I just can't. I tried to talk to his niece. She apologized in text for the state of the room, but didn't admit to what she'd done for it to end up that way, even when asked directly. Her reason was she was depressed. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like you're depressed, but why are you pooping in bags? I know, sweetheart, like you, unless there's a funnel laying up there, you are not peeing in them jugs, right? All right, maybe you were like peeing and pooping in the cat litter, but sweetheart, honey, no, you are not peeing in that jug. She had that boyfriend up there. Let me see. If she had told the truth, I would play nice for the sake of the grandmother. I would suffer through Christmas quietly and most likely just drink. But I don't think I'll be able to look at her. Would I be the applesauce for not going to his grandmother so we can have a happy family Christmas? Like, I'd be like, look, Granny, I'm gonna break it down for you. Like, I know you want us to be like, oh, woohoo, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood all up in here. Like, we all love each other. We're one big happy family like Barney. But no. Like, this chick straight up pooped in bags, peed in jugs. I'm damn sure that she had her boyfriend living up there. Like, and she can't even admit to it or apologize. Like, Granny, you don't want me there. You don't want me there because I'm gonna ruin your Christmas. Like, your Christmas is going to be a lot nicer. Like, I don't care. You want to lie to the family, tell them I'm sick, go for it, sweetheart. But, like, believe me, you don't want me there because, like, our third cousin's removed Granny freaking in the ground is going to be turning in her grave when I let loose. I'm just saying. She is not the applesauce. Not the applesauce at all. So this next one. Am I the applesauce for getting my friend / supervisor in trouble at work after my cancer diagnosis? I'm going to go with not the applesauce here, but, you know, let's read on. Maybe there's more to it, right? So it says, I, 33, was diagnosed with a rare cancer in August and told I could potentially only have 1 to 2 years to live. Oh, I'm sorry. Treatment would be aggressive, so I was to start short-term disability ASAP. I was an emergency medical dispatcher for 10 years. My fiance worked for the ambulance for years and had already put in a transfer request to dispatch with the understanding he absolutely required days to care for me at nights. It was approved. Okay. Our chain of command is S and then the manager L. S and I had been very close for nearly 10 years. She was even present when I was diagnosed and knew what was coming. Okay. Diagnosed, knew what was coming. She also loved working with my husband and was our maid of honor. Okay. So it says our chain of command. All right, I already read that. Out of nowhere, SNL said they were moving him temporarily to nights. I would have been like, no, that is not what we agreed to. Like, he transferred from the ambulance to dispatch to days. Like, that was the agreement. Like, so far, I think I'm going to be leaning with not the applesauce from what I've gathered so far, because you put him on nights, you know what I mean? And he probably could have stayed, working for the ambulance for days. Like, there's a reason why he went to dispatch for days, right? So, now, I mean, I don't know. Like, if it was, like, maybe for, like, a week because somebody's covering vacation, like, yes, I sympathize with you that you are going through cancer treatment, but sometimes, it is what it is. Like, that's just how the schedule falls. If it's a temporary thing, then maybe you're the applesauce. You couldn't get somebody else to help you. But I digress. You know what I mean? Let's keep reading here. So it says, out of nowhere, SNL say they're moving him temporarily tonight, meaning it could be months. Oh, yeah, no. No. That's not what we agreed to, honey. No. I told S this wouldn't work. We had said he required day shift, but instead the other new hire was given the day slot so they could work directly with their girlfriend. Favoritism is pretty blatant here. Okay. I'm going with not the applesauce. Because one, the husband transferred from the ambulance to the dispatch, and like, you're gonna give it to somebody so they can work with their girlfriend, but this dude is asking for days so he can be home to take care of his wife who's dying of cancer. I'm leaning towards not the applesauce. All right. His first night shift, I had a fall from weakness, prompting my elderly mother to stay during his shifts. At this point, I was getting nowhere with SNL, was out indefinitely due to a personal emergency. I told S there were unethical practices happening, and if I was forced to go all the way to the BP and ask him why, then I would, but I didn't want to. Okay, so it sounds like, this person was like, they tried to, not throw this person under the bus, right? Just to be clear, I was literally never once disrespectful to her, and I was probably way more transparent than I should have been, because that was an old friend. Okay, I get it, She then told me that she no longer talk about work with me if it jeopardized her job. Well, don't be agreeing and hiring somebody for a shift and then go, oh, well, you got to go on to the night shift because so-and-so wants to work with their girlfriend. Get the fluff out of town. With no supervisor, we were forced to go to HR. S tried to lie in, saying I said night shift would be fine. Oh, hells no. You ain't the applesauce. I'm going to say it right now. You ain't. Excuse my language. You are not the applesauce. All right. So I had to draw up very detailed timeline and include emails, screenshots of texts, etc., just to prove our side. We also submitted a family medical leave of emergency and an ADA paperwork. HR called stating he'd be moved to days within a week. I never heard them sound that nervous and all the time there. Clearly, somebody screwed up big time and got caught. Yeah, because that, she really wanted to, I'm pretty sure, she could have hired a lawyer, yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm going with not the applesauce, right? No idea to what extent, but obviously S got in trouble and completely ghosted me. Well, you know what, honey? That's on S. S should have done what S said she was going to do and not try to play some BS games, right? She refuses to even speak to or look at my husband in the office. I told her I was going to expose whatever unethical practices were happening. I just naively didn't think she was a part of it. But I think she thought we wouldn't push the issue because he and I were both very laid back people, generally speaking. And you know what, and I get that, but sometimes, you got to stand your ground and you got to push back. I'm going with not the applesauce. I never wanted her job to get screwed up in the process, but I also feel like if she got caught, she would be held accountable. She's causing harm to people. I just feel bad because I had to put everyone on blast to HR to prove what he and I were saying was true, and I'm sure she felt betrayed. I'm going with not the applesauce because it's in an email, it's in text. Like, you have written proof, you know what I mean? Like, and they hired him for the first shift and then say, no. And it's not like you're just like, I just want my husband home at night with me. No, like, there's a medical condition. There's a legit reason why. Not the applesauce, right? Let's see. La, 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 la. Okay, now this last one, right? Am I the applesauce for telling my niece she can leave after she went against the rules in my house, which she was staying in rent-free? Now, I would say not the applesauce, right? But then again, I mean, look at what happened with the last niece. You know, the niece was peeing and pooping and having her boyfriend move in, you know, so maybe let's read and find out, right? So, edit to add. When I said no socializing, I meant no one at my house. She can go out with anyone she wants, no issue. She agreed to this. Throwaway. Ages, I'm 30, my husband 34, and my niece 22. Okay. Our niece, my husband's half-brother's daughter, stayed at our home recently for almost 2 weeks. Amy had exam season at college. Her school is a bit of a drive from where she lives, and she'd be losing a lot of studying time going back and forth. So she asked if she could stay with us as we're nearby. She didn't pay any type of rent, but did reimburse for the increase in utilities. Okay, I mean, so far I'm not really seeing the issue here. She offered to pay for utilities, by the way. We didn't ask her to. Okay, what does that have to do with the price of cheese in China? But let's keep going. We agreed because this was an educational purpose. And I made it very clear to her that she couldn't be using this time for socializing, mingling with friends, and so on. Amy agreed to everything. Hold up. Rewind. Edit to add. When I said no socializing, I meant no one at my house. Okay. That's where that edit to add comes in. Last week I came home from work and saw Amy's husband in the kitchen. He'd come with the report she left at home. I asked her what was going on. She said she made him coffee since he made the trip and he's only here for 30 minutes. I reminded her that we allowed her to stay here to make her studies easier, not so she can bring men over. First off, it's not like he's just some random freaking man she just picked up on the corner and was like, hey, come on home with me. It's her husband, and you state that she lives far away, and he's dropping off a report that she forgot. And she's making him coffee, and she's like, he's just going to be here for 30 minutes. Like, I think I'm gonna be leaning with it. You're the applesauce, right? But let's keep going. Maybe there's something more that like I'm missing. Like, I reminded her we allowed her to stay here to make her studies easier, not so she can bring men over. I've also discussed this with her beforehand, and she agreed, but now she's going against it. It's not her friend. It's not just some random dude she found at a bar. It's not like you came home and they were boffing on your kitchen counters. Like, come on. Like, good night, Irene. Hold on. Wait a minute. I also discussed this with her beforehand and she agreed, but now she's going against it. She started acting snarky, so I replied what she needs to respect other people's houses and rules, otherwise she can leave. Now, yes, I get where you're coming from with the, like, respect other people's houses and rules. But at the same time, like, you've never driven, like, kind of like a far distance, and it's like, he can't come in and use the bathroom or just, like, have a cup of coffee before he's got to get in the car and drive all the way the long back. Like, obviously, it's got to be a pretty far distance if you're willing to let her stay there for 2 weeks, right? And again, it is her husband. It is not just some random Joe Schmo, you know. I'm gonna go with, even though it's your house, right? You're the applesauce, right? She got upset and was quiet the rest of the time, but she did end up leaving a few days earlier. My husband said that she should have respected the rules, but I was too harsh on her. I agree. I agree. Now, again, you know, yes, your house, your rules, but it's like, it's not like she just invited him over and was like, hey, come on over. Like, there was a reason he drove up there. Like, and again, it's not like you walked in and they're doing the hanky-panky on the counter, on your, you know, kitchen table, on the counters, on the couch, on the floor, in your bed. Now, she's making him freaking coffee. Good night, Irene. I did text her later, but she didn't reply. She didn't pick up my husband's calls either. He did talk to his half-brother, and they were pissed off. But I also told a couple of my family members about it, and they think I'm fine. Am I the applesauce? I'm going to go with, you are the applesauce. Again, like, it is your house, your rules, right? But I'm going back to, she left her report at home, right? She asked her husband, not just some random guy, not just some Tom, Dick, or Harry that she just picked up at a bar. You know what I mean? She's making him coffee. Obviously, if you're letting her stay there because it's closer to the college for her studies, like, the husband drove a long way. I'm going with, you are the freaking applesauce. Like, I can't. But you know what, guys? With that said, I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!